What's good? Half Blind back with another Madden video, and today we're going to be going over no money spent in the month of May. The reason why I'm clarifying in the month of May is because this is going to be some no money spent tips for MUT in the month of May, fairly late into the season, actually pretty late into the season. But these are some tips for those of you who may be picking up the game on Game Pass. Maybe you're picking it up on sale, which is on sale everywhere pretty often now. So these are some tips that might help you out. And also, I wanted to mention I'm going to be doing a lot of content on college football, so please like, comment, and subscribe to this, and especially subscribe so that you can check out some of the college football content that I'm going to have coming up. And I'm also going to let you guys know when some news comes out with college football and do a video on that because it should be this month. But let's jump into it. So the first thing I would recommend doing when you're doing no money spent is going out to MUT GG. It's not even opening up the game yet, it's going out to MUT GG. And the reason why I say this is if you look at this card on the screen, we've got Cordell Patterson, the new Cordero, I'm sorry, my bad, I pronounced it wrong. Cordero Patterson, and one of the new cards for the new sets. So it's a good example because you get to see all of the new stuff from one of the new 99s, and somebody you might actually want to pick up on your squad. Looking below, you get to see all his different versions, his past versions. But the reason why I really like this is actually up here. It shows the money for the market. The reason why that's important is because now you kind of know the value of this card and it's going to help you make coin. So if you pull this card, you're going to have a good idea whether you want to auction him or whether you want to keep him and how much you want to actually auction him for. Because again, the prices are up here and you can click on each one. So on Xbox, you click on that, it'll give you recent sales. Pretty cool, pretty helpful. And then also looking up here, I don't use this a ton anymore, but when I started out, I used it a lot. And it tells you whether or not it's better to auction or better to quick sell for training. Now, the reason you would quick sell for training, there's two things you would use training for. You would use it for either abilities or you would use it for getting packs, which you can get a few packs through the mystery packs. There was a glitch, well, I don't want to call it a glitch because honestly it was, I think, just kind of maybe by design, but people were opening mystery packs and then paying them back with what they pulled in the mystery packs until they eventually got some really good cards and made some coin. That was something that happened last weekend, so sometimes it's good to have that training in your pocket just in case. But otherwise, if you look at this card in particular, it's way better to do a auction right now. You start to get a feel for it. You don't really need to always look at that after a while, but it's cool to have. And then another reason why this is good, other than just laying out the stats in a really good way, you can come up here and you can look at the abilities. And it's such a good way of looking at abilities. And you can see certain things like, so ankle breaker, X factor, that's fine. What we would be looking for on this guy, I mean, ankle breaker would be good, but we're hoping for angry runs, which we don't see here. I think it's still going to probably be a pretty good card. You can use ankle breaker. You can be kind of an elusive back, but it's probably not going to be as great as if you use, if you had a card with angry runs. So that's the kind of thing we get to look through. It'll go through and show you the player specific abilities. Jukebox is really good. And so now we see Jukebox is 0 AP. That's big, and a lot of people need Route Technician or like Route Technician. So the fact that that's also just 1 AP is pretty good. So there's a lot of good stuff that you can see here. So this is what his upgrades are. That's another cool thing that's a lot easier to see here. And really what you're going to get on the upgrade on this guy, you're going to be able to see doing the upgrade is actually going to allow you to do a different team chem. I was wondering if it actually shows you that. So it does show you that there's a team chem slot, but somewhere, let me get back to where it was. Somewhere it does show you the teams that he is affiliated with. Oh, there it is. So when you unlock the team chemistry slots, you can see here all the teams that this guy would be with. And that's 5 training, pretty cheap. And you can see, for me, I'm building a Steelers theme team, so having him with a Steelers chemistry is pretty awesome, and that's, you know, what might make him my starting running back. Same for if you're building a Patriots team, Vikings, Raiders, Bears, Falcons, any of those, he might be your guy for the running back. It gives you your out of position overalls here, basically how much he loses by being set to out of position. You're not going to be realistically running him at fullback, but you could run him at wide receiver if you're pretty low on wide receivers. But MUT GG is a huge resource. Definitely recommend it. Don't even have to get on the game for it. It's pretty good for just learning the market, and that's the first place I would go. One last thing I forgot to mention here, you can actually click on the team, and when you click on the team, it will actually give you the Pittsburgh Steelers theme chemistries. So you can go through here and you can look at what players are going to have your chemistry. I would recommend doing theme teams when you're starting out No Money Spent, because they're a lot easier to obtain. And then if you look here on the side, it gives you the boosts and all the different boosts that you get for each level of chemistry. To me, this is a great way of kind of looking at what you might need and building out your theme team. But then on top of that, if you go up here to theme teams, you can actually look for what kind of theme team you want. So if you want to run it off the most recent promo, you would just find, you gotta find it. Oh, do they have one for the most recent promo? So I don't think they have one for the most recent promo right now. That's not really what I use it for. I use it for, see here, the Steelers theme team. It says best you would have is a 96 overall. You click on it, it will tell you who the best Steelers quarterbacks are. So Vic played for the Steelers. You can change his chem. Russell just came out, played for the Steelers. Patterson, obviously we just looked at, played for the Steelers. And so it gives you each position, and you can see who you can pick up. Some of these guys, Pickens is still good. I'm trying to look. I think the tight end, yeah. One of the tight ends, oh, maybe not. There's a tight end out there that you can't get anymore for the Steelers theme team. I think he may have fallen off the list, but sometimes you'll come across a guy that's part of like a season pass from, you know, past seasons that you can't go back and get. So sometimes that kind of sucks, but otherwise it's really good for showing you who the best cards are for your theme team. Definitely recommend using this and building out some form of a theme team, even if it's just like the newest promos theme. It's still good, gives you really good boosts. Alright, now that I rambled on entirely too long about MUT GG, sorry about that, we'll get into what you can actually do in the game and where I would start out, especially if you're new, going No Money Spent. And so this may be introductory for a lot of people who have been playing the game for a while. This is a lot towards the new people, but you guys still may pick up some tips if you've been playing for a while. So the first place I would go, I would tab over here with RB, and we'll look here at the agendas. So what I would make sure to do is I would make sure that you hit Y here and you go look at what your daily agendas are. And as you see here, it's buy one pack, and then get your passing yards and get your rushing yards. You also want to do this on competitive. You want to do both of those. And actually, even before this, so as you can see here, you get some packs, and then you get your daily activities that you need to do. But even before you do this, what I would also do is I would go through, and I actually haven't even fully finished this myself yet. No, actually I did, sorry. I would go, and that's why it's down here. I would go through and do your infinite flux and your AANHPI. It's such a long acronym, I've struggled with it. But I would do both these promos and make sure you get those cards in your lineup, because when you go back and you look at the actual field pass here, or however you want to say it for each promo, you look at these, they have a lot of different objectives that involve having players in your lineup. So you see here, you need to have 120 tackles with 2+ infinite flux players in your lineup. You're going to want to get those players in there as soon as you can, because then you'll just be collecting rewards while you play whatever you want to play. And then you, as you can see, you get, I went back when I shouldn't have, as you can see, you get XP, but also you get some packs along the way. So you want to be collecting those rewards as throughout the promo, just collecting them along the way, and eventually you'll get a 97 plus B and D. Good card, especially if you're starting out. Could end up being a 99 potentially, depending on how your luck is, but it's free. So I would definitely get those cards in your lineup, start grinding them out, keep an eye out on all of these agendas, because getting this XP and getting all this gets you free packs, and you can't beat free. Okay, so I mentioned challenges already, and obviously those are over here, and you can see that there's challenges for each different promo. And specifically, what I want to point out is Ultimate Legends and AKA Crews. You're going to want to get these done, and I haven't gotten these done just yet, but the reason why I say you're going to want to get those done is they're going to lead to a 99 overall. You definitely want a 99 overall, and let me show you where you would get that. So you hop back over here, go over to Marketplace, go over to My Team, go to Sets. Now here on Sets, I would just filter by program usually. So let's look at AKA Crews. And you can see here, and this is who I'm going to be picking up. To each their own, especially depending on if you have a theme team. I mean, Tyreek Hill's really good. Where is he? There he is, Tyreek Hill. Bruce Irvin's obviously really good too. So you've got some 99s, and then you've got some 98s, but really you get an AKA pack with one of these guaranteed, a fantasy pack, which I actually took a Cube Talib. You get a fantasy pack, and you can pick one of these cards out of here. So I wouldn't really go 98 unless you just have something you really need in your theme team. Say like you want, if you have a Broncos theme team and you want both Broncos, then yeah, maybe you do, but honestly, I would stick with one of these, and for me, it's going to be Sherman. And the reason why I pointed all this out, though, is from those challenges, you get... So it says a champion here, which is one of those champions you saw over there, and it includes those 99s overall. You get these from both doing the agendas, which aren't too hard, but then also you get them from doing the challenges. And there are a lot of challenges, so it's a little bit of a grind, but honestly, it's not too bad, especially for getting a 99 overall for free, and especially the fact that Richard Sherman is now probably one of the best cornerbacks in the game. And you always want to lock down cornerback when you're starting out, so you're not getting torched. So yeah, I would say right now, do these AKAs, and then also look at the Ultimate Legend promo. There's more that come out every weekend. Alright, so you see here we've got some 99s already filling in, and we're going to probably get a couple more this weekend. Doesn't include the LTDs, but you do still get some pretty good options already. I mean, Calvin Johnson's going to be one of the best receivers in the game. But there's going to be more that are going to come out, and as you can see here, you get the tokens for a 99 to 97 fantasy pack. I think I'd have to look, but there may end up being enough tokens to get two. I'm not sure, but you're at least going to get 199 out of all this. If it's like the Legends, you had enough to get two by the end of the Legends promo. So yeah, I would say do this and you may actually get 2 99s out of the deal. But then also another place I forgot to mention, another promo, is actually the weekly wild cards. Alright, so you get the same thing, you get tokens, and you can actually get a 99 overall card. And honestly, I don't really like the 99s as much on these, but there's still some good ones, especially if you like these particular teams. Another quick tip for working the auction house is going in here to my items. Somebody brought this up to me. I'm sure it says it on the bottom. Yeah, it does. But I never really looked at the bottom, and I never really looked at this as an option. You can actually go, and we'll take somebody like Pouncy, who's not worth a lot anymore. But you can push up on the right stick. And when you push up on the right stick, it gives you the auction house. And you can click on that, and you can see there's currently no Marquise Pouncys out there. So, as you can see here, tight end Taysom Hill. I wanted to sell him. There's somebody selling him for 43. But something else I wanted to bring up here is if you go look at the auction item, there at the bottom right, there is a minimum and a maximum. So I cannot sell Taysom Hill for less than 33,000. So you can drop lower and you can undercut people, but you can only undercut people to 33,000, and then that's your base floor. So good to keep an eye on that here. And that one's actually not in the up arrow, that's just in the my items. But when you're working the auction house, that's something I'd look at. Here's another thing with auction house I don't personally do, but it's probably one of the best ways of making coins from my understanding. So it's up to you if you want to do this. And if you really want to get into studying this stuff and looking at the marketplace, and MUT GG is going to be huge for this again. But say, let's just do a hypothetical here, right? Let's say Jaden Daniels is going for $1 million, so it's a big, nice round number. He's not, but let's say he was. If he's going for $1 million, and then you look up here and you see these 97 overall players, and you click on them, and you look and see, okay, $1 million, but they're all going for about 130K. Well, that's weird. If they're all going for about 130K, and I can buy 4 of them, sorry, for 520,000, then that means I'd be making 500,000-ish, 480K. Man, you know what I'm saying. 480K from this set, just because I would be able to then sell Jaden Daniels. I'm struggling with names today. My bad. I've been a mess, but I think you get the picture. So you would be making a ton of coin off of that. You never make that much. My bet is you go look, we just determined it's 520K. If you went to go look up Jaden Daniels himself, I bet he is not anywhere near $1 million. I bet he's actually probably closer to the 500, maybe even a little less. That's usually how it is. But occasionally you'll find that one where you just go, oh, it's more expensive. You just work these sets and you're gonna get some coin off of it. And sometimes you can make 100K off of each one, and that's good coin. Okay, and now I got it pulled up here, so there you can see it. It's actually, you'd be losing money if you did that set, but you gotta do the math on all the sets, and if you find one set that the math is off, and you gotta keep in mind too, when you go to sell these cards, there's a 10% tax on it. So really, if you're selling at 52, what am I saying? If you're selling at 520K, you're going to have that 10% on top of that. So you're going to want to probably sell it at about 580K, rounding up a little bit, so you make a little coin off of it. So you come out here and look for the card, and if it is over that 580K, awesome set to go do and try to make some coin. If not, then you're not going to be making any money off of it. Just don't worry about it. MUT GG helps out a lot here as well. And now my final, but probably some of my most important no money spent tips for May is, if you look here in the store, I already purchased mine today, so it's not going to show up here, but generally in your featured, or there'll be special offers, there's going to be 1 coin packs. That is huge when you're first starting out. They're usually B&D, I believe, almost always B&D, except for the ones that are platinum packs where you actually just get coins for it. And even then, it's 1 coin, and then you get like 6,000, or depending on how much you, what the overall is, all that. But you get some coins basically for free for just doing a couple of clicks. Definitely do it every day. Even if that's pretty much all you do, I would at least do that once a day. And then when you're first starting out no money spent, I would personally recommend you stay away from the head-to-head, you stay away from the house rules, stay away from online. Well, actually MUT Draft you could do if you wanted to. That's a good place to get better online. It's not great on the reward side of things, but you can still do it, especially if you want to test out players. MUT Draft isn't a bad place, but I would stick with solo battles at first. Even if they're boring, I know they're probably boring to you guys at first. Not to me, I don't mind offline, but you're going to want to build up your team before you get into that head-to-head, and before you start going up against some of those monsters, some of those money spent teams. Unfortunately, if you're going no money spent, that's just how you got to do it. You've got to grind up through solo battles at first to get all of the stats that are in the competitive. Because if you see here, in competitive, you go look here, these can be done in solo battles, they can be done head-to-head, any of that. You knock those out like that. You've got a whole section of weekly solo battle options. Go through and knock those out. Those just reset. That's why mine are at 0, but I had completed all of them before. And then you go up here to milestones. These can be done as it shows here on solo battles, MUT champs, season games. Most of them are like that. There are a few, I think, that are potentially limited in some way, shape, or form. Like this one, I guess they're not that many that are limited, but this one is limited to veteran. Usually the milestones, I think, let you do solo battles. Just go in there and get your stats up, play it on veteran, beat up on the other team, get as many rush yards, get as many pass yards. I know it's tedious, but honestly, it's worth it for the rewards. If you go back here and you look at the rewards and you see you get a 98 B&D, great for your team. You get these red zone packs. Occasionally you'll pull something really good in a red zone pack. You get touchdown packs. You're going to get a Winfield 99. You get out here, and if you care about this sort of thing, you're going to get Trevor Lawrence. I almost forgot to mention you get a 99 overall B&D, so that's another 99 Ultimate Legend. And right now we've mentioned out there about, what is that, 4, 5 maybe free 99s. So that's definitely good with building up your team. And then here's the 6th is Trevor Lawrence. So you can use Trevor Lawrence as well. And then there's still just packs along the way, and occasionally you'll hit on one. But really, that's it for me. I hope this helped you guys. Let me know if you guys have any questions in the comments. I'd be glad to help out. But otherwise, I appreciate you all for watching. Peace.